yes, y'all, and you don't stop. It's I.O.W. on the Mother Sports Blog. What's up, y'all?
What up,
It's
though?
another episode, I.O.W. Sports. We are here, episode 152. 152. We knocking these episodes out. We are putting out the content left and right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As always, it's your boy Walker Mar in the building. To my side, that way, we got the homie Detroit Mel, the man with the Grand Massive plan, and he is already dissing Kirk Cousins, and we ain't even mentioned Kirk Cousins. I don't know how that is coming about, but okay. I'm mad that you really slid on the phone and say fuck Kirk Cousins. We ain't even said nothing about Kirk. I don't know how that happens, but whatever. Look, as always, the big homie Nick Shine, he's doing. I think he's getting his breast reduction today, so he's gonna be out today.
He's getting his nipples pierced.
Yeah, he's getting his nipples pierced. I think that's what it is for sure. Let me stop. Yeah, let me stop. But no, as always, it's your boy Wildcard Martin Teacher, man. Do we still got the WhatsApp app still active? I think if you want to call in,
yeah, it should be.
Yeah, get some takes in and say what you want to say.
Right.
Big weekend of sports. There were 7 game
up,
sevens. 7, yes, I said it. 7 game sevens. You had 5 in the NHL, and you had 2 in the NBA. And of course, we will get to all of that. In the midst of that, of course, you had some Major League Baseball action going, college softball, college baseball. And,
I love women's college softball.
Oh yeah, actually, me and the wife, she played softball, so
okay. It's more competitive to me.
Very competitive.
The women's, yeah. Because they be thick as hell.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but
I mean, I'm gonna watch something that's entertaining, and it got pluses.
There's a lot of pluses.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do watch it for the competition.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But if you see a thick one every now and then walk across the screen, that's a plus.
You like, go ahead, baby, go ahead.
Hey, look like.
Go ahead.
That was a good hit. Where the replay
at? No, and then of course track season is starting soon.
Right.
Summer's around the corner. Literally, a lot of sports that happened this weekend.
In my old neighborhood, track season for the crackheads was every summer.
All day. It was all day, every day.
All day long.
But on the bottom of the screen, that is the WhatsApp. So if you guys are feeling that deep and compelled to come in and chime in with us,
where's that nickel?
Definitely chime in and type in or hit that WhatsApp number.
Jamel, that
I know
that he
Jamel
get his nipples pierced.
He's getting his nipples pierced. He's looking for him, man. But no, without further ado, as always, please go show us some love and support. Go on over to the YouTube, type in I.O.W. Sports Network. It'll bring you right to our page. All of our content, literally every last drop of content that we have dropped is on the YouTube page. Definitely give us a like, share, follow there, spread the word of what's going on. While you're on Instagram, looking at your Instagram models, go ahead and take a quick second, flow on over to I.O.W. Sports Network. Give us a quick follow and like and show us some love on Instagram. We are also on Twitter. So while you're over there tweeting, getting into your Twitter beefs, well, I don't say start a Twitter beef with us, but you can always give us a like, share, and a follow on Twitter as well.
A thumbs up.
A thumbs up at I.O.W. Sports 1. And then most importantly, go on over to the Facebook page. That is where the whole congregation of the I.O.W. network is there. Facebook page is open to the public. We emphasize on networks. So if you have a podcast, a fellow sports podcast, or podcast in general, drop your content, let people know what you got. You got a small business, let people know of your goods and services. And, it gives a chance for people like Jamel, Matt, who is a big follower of the show. And I believe your hat's on the way, Matt.
It is.
Definitely, that's where we met all these great guys at. They give their own sports take, spark some good debates, drop some funny sports memes, and of course, especially after yesterday, there's been hella memes going on, especially in relation to Chris Paul. We'll get to that in just a second, but no, that's where everything is at. And then you see that cash app. It says $I.O.W Sports Network. If you throw $30 to that cash app, give us an address, and you will get the exclusive I.O.W Sports cap. You can't get this cap nowhere else. You see the logo of I.O.W Sports with the bird? You can't get it nowhere else. That's the only way you can get this cap. It's very exclusive. Very exclusive.
Right.
But
that FOMO.
FOMO. And then on that Facebook address as well, for the I.O.W Sports Network, at the top of the page, it is a link to all of I.O.W Sports merchandise, as well as the official J. Edwin Collection merchandise line. As you can see, we're both rocking some of the merch. I don't know how this happened. Obviously, y'all know I'm from Kansas City, but I threw my Detroit shirt on, and then obviously
appreciate you.
Detroit Mel will always rock his Detroit versus everybody shit. So we're almost matching today. But look, let's get down.
The bird did what?
Yeah. Said the bird did what? Glad y'all read it to me. I would have put 10. I would put $10 10W Sports Network. The bird did what? Oh, that's what the bird did, man. Oh. Now we ain't doing no OnlyFans, man.
That's right.
You say, yo, where's that nigga? No. Let's get down to the business. Obviously,
right.
I'm gonna start with this one because I don't want to hit the elephant in the room. We'll get to that in just a second.
We get that in a minute. All right.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So we, as we kind of check out the highlights of what happened with Boston and Milwaukee. I mean, if you ask me, I thought it was a great series
until Game 7.
No. So this is the first game of multiple sevens that we had over the weekend, and here's the thing. I want to look at this first at Milwaukee, and of course, Mel, you give your take on it as well. Mm-hmm. Here's my thing with Milwaukee. I know people want to say right now, oh my gosh, man, they needed Chris Middleton. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, well, yeah, but would it make that much of a difference? I mean, and here's my thing with Milwaukee. To me, this series or this playoff series to me shows how important Giannis is to their franchise and how important that some things needed to go their way last year to get that championship. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. Yeah. What if Kevin Durant's foot was a little bit smaller and didn't step on that 3-point line? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What if they had to actually play the 76ers? Had the 76ers took care of business against Atlanta? What if Golden State was at full strength last year and made it to the finals? There's a
lot of what ifs.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of what ifs, but let's be honest. When the team wins the championships, there has to be a little bit of luck involved, a little bit.
Yeah, somewhat.
And a little bit of things that break their way. Mm-hmm. And so I think that and then I'm not trying to take away from what Milwaukee accomplished last year. I'm just saying that when you look at how important Giannis is and the inconsistent lack of support that he gets from Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton on an offensive production side, to me, it shows that there's still a big chunk of that team that needs to get built up for Milwaukee. If you ask me personally, as a GM, of Milwaukee. I'm looking to upgrade. I'm looking to upgrade Chris Middleton. Hey, I'm just saying.
I'm laughing at what Matt said. But yeah.
I know what Matt's saying, but I'm just saying, like, there's some breaks that went, in my opinion, that went Milwaukee's way last year that didn't go their way this year.
Mm-hmm.
You get Boston, who's been playing phenomenal defense, who's
Right.
been and when you got a superstar like Giannis, he needs a good supporting cast. They don't need to be superstars, but they need to be consistent in what they do best. So if Chris Middleton is supposed to be the good shooter, and obviously he was out with injury, but you can go back to even sometimes at points in the season this year and last year's postseason, he was inconsistent. And so, if he's consistent at being his offense production, and Drew Holiday is consistent at doing what he can do, he can play some defense. I give him that. But that man was shooting just terrible last postseason and this postseason. So now I got 2 postseasons of evidence that Drew Holiday can't help you on the offensive side. He can't.
Right.
So how you feel about the Bucks after this series is done with this one?
I'm kind of like a little bit what Mel said, a little bit what you said. It was Boston's night that night. You gotta give them that. You know what I'm saying? When you daring them to shoot and they just knocking them down like that, there's nothing you can do about that unless you can match that. You know what I'm saying? Bucket for bucket.
Hey Mel, my fault, Mel.
Okay.
Jamel, you right about this one. You are right. He does give him 20 plus, but his efficiency that Drew is shooting is absolutely terrible. He's shooting like 7 for 20, 7 for 21. If you're giving me 20 points, yeah, that's cool. But if you're taking 21 shots to get it, that's not being efficient. And so that's me part of saying that Drew Holiday is not consistent enough on his offensive side of the ball to give that consistent help to Giannis. I mean, Giannis literally has to put up 40 points, 35 plus is a minimum. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so my thing is you even saw it in the game last night, in the game 7 last night. Giannis was dog shit tired, and he's missing easy shots at the 10. He's missing easy shots. I mean,
he tired from what he had to do in game 5, what he had to do in game 6.
No, he's tired what he had to do all postseason last year. I'm
not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying he has to like take his team, put him on his back, and drag him. And then it's like, now Holiday is hot this game, so I can get a little rest. Or when Middleton was healthy, now he's hot. But if you don't have a consistent person all the time, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a drain and a tax on the superstar, which just happened to be Giannis. You don't have a good enough consistent supporting cast, not only on offense, even on defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that too. You're going to need that consistent on offense and on defense. I mean, sometimes Lopez disappears. I'm like, oh yeah, you do have Lopez. You forget about him. Sometimes he disappears.
Lopez disappeared. Bobby Portis disappeared.
Right, Portis too. So you got to have that consistency all around, and that's their biggest. That's Milwaukee's biggest issue. On any given night, they can be anybody. But at the same time, they're not consistent, so they can lose anybody at the same time because they're inconsistencies. And that's why they got blown out against Boston. I mean, if they would have just straight up lost, and not get blown out, that's a different story. But getting blown out like that speaks to the inconsistency of Milwaukee. And I just think it's unfortunate because Giannis is such a great talent that he doesn't have that supporting cast around him.
So let me ask you this: What do you think of the tape that I've seen all day about Chris Middleton, quote unquote, could have helped them, could have made a difference in this series? I mean, me personally, I don't think he's consistent enough to make that much of a difference.
Right.
Could they probably steal 1 or 2 games? Possibly, but I don't know. I don't see Chris Middleton as in like, oh my gosh, he's such a needle mover. He's so important to this team.
I will say this.
Yeah.
He could have made a difference in one of the games they might have lost, but he wouldn't have made a difference in game 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, so like one of the games they had lost, he might have been hot that particular game and made a difference. They'd have won, and he wouldn't have been in the game 7. So you could say it from that standpoint, but I think in game 7 itself, he would have made much of a difference.
Yeah,
it was Boston's night. You can see how tired Giannis was. So he's your prolific scorer. And if he's tired, he can't give you those points. You know what you gonna do? So I don't think he would have made a difference in game 7. What Anthony say?
Yeah, you got an interesting point. Anthony says, he says, look at how it's funny. All 3 runner-ups for MVP lost and out of the playoffs, but the 4th in line, Luka, is still in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'll touch on Luka in just a second because he definitely did his part in this playoff to entertain. We'll get to but no, you're absolutely right. And then I think one thing that needs to take into account, and we talked about this last year with the Bucks, they seem hell bent on shooting a 3.
Yeah,
they seem hell bent on, and this is Budenhauser. To me, this is coaching. Because they seem hell bent on shooting the 3, and I want to pull up the stat to make sure that my numbers was right on this. They went 4 for 33. 4 for 33.
Wow.
Okay, and so what's the definition of insanity, Big Homie?
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
4 for 33.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, bro.
I'm just so help me out. So help me out here. If you have a presence like Giannis Antetokounmpo in the paint, who literally can't be guarded, even when people know that he's coming down the lane, he still can't be stopped.
Right.
Why, as a team, are you taking 33 shots? You're getting away from your bread and butter. You're getting away from what gets you there. And Giannis
so Giannis hit one of those 4.
Yeah, so Giannis goes 1 for 4. So he takes 4 of those attempts, but that's his normal attempts from 3-point. So he'll take 4 or 5 attempts a game. That's his normal attempts from 3. So he's still playing his game. Now I get he has 25 points, 20 rebounds, 9 assists, just missed a triple-double. You don't want to see 5 turnovers from him. Obviously, you don't want to see that. But he's tired.
Right. Yeah, you got all them people on your back. You be tired too.
And so right now, what I'm saying right now is that Boston fundamentally show where the flaws on how the Bucks are built and how they play their team basketball, and it also shows and highlights how important Giannis is to the Bucks, and how and in my opinion, me personally, if I had a vote, I would have voted for Giannis as MVP because that game 7 showed me why he's so valuable to the Bucks.
Now on top of that too, you gotta look at this part too. When you are playing a game like that and they run it, you gotta figure out how to slow it down, stop them from running, and try to play it. You gotta make adjustments and say it like that. They didn't make it there. They trying to run with them, but you missing shots. You missing the outside shots. So now you have to readjust. And like you said, go to Giannis on the inside, slow the game down, and keep them from running out, running fast breaks, hitting threes.
Bro, he is. And Mel, you like you saying it, but it's funny. But and when you look at that game 7 yesterday, he is. What is Giannis not doing for the Bucks right now? I mean, you want look, and this is why I say there had to have been a little bit of luck involved to get that championship last year. Now that he's got it, now that Milwaukee has got it, he's got 2 MVPs. And I can't even cap. At first, I'm like, how the hell is he getting these MVPs? But then you see how valuable he is, and he gets better with his game. But the only problem is
right.
How long can he go being Superman? How long can
burn
he go
you out quick?
Superman?
It'll burn you out quick.
Yeah, speed versus power. Boston speed, little ball versus Bucks power. Big men. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you hit it right on the head, Anthony, and Detroit Mel hit it on earlier. What was Brook Lopez? And this is what I'm saying. This was part of the luck last year. Lopez had some kind of opportunistic moments that he contributed to the team. Same with Bobby Portis. Same with what's his name? Pat Connaughton hit a couple opportunistic key threes. A couple of those bench players contributed little moments that kind of helped, and you didn't get that this year. Not in this series. Not in this series. But let's switch it over to Boston, man. How do you think Boston showed the true team that they are, and how do you see this Miami Heat Boston Celtics Eastern Conference Final going?
I think it's all gonna run on Boston defense. I think the defense that they play can tighten up on Miami, and they got a good chance of winning that series. I think they'll probably go 6 and Boston will win it. I believe Boston will win it.
I'm right behind you. I guess we dressed the same today. We kind of think the same today. I mean, I'm with Mel on this one. I think it's going to be a chess match because I have to say this. I got to give Eric Spoelstra his credit as a coach for the Miami Heat.
Right.
Because a lot of people, you have LeBron James and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, and you go to 4 straight finals, you win 2 of them, they made you. And you look at how his career has gone, and he still keeps Miami consistently in the playoffs. If I don't quote me off the top of my head. All right, so he's been a coach since the Big Three. So you're talking about 2010. So he's been a coach in the league for about 12 years. And he might have, so he might have.
It hasn't been that long.
Yeah, so you're talking about 12, 13 years of coaching,
right.
NBA coaching. He might have only missed the playoffs maybe twice. And so, to me, they make the finals in 2020, I still don't, however you want to feel about the bubble championship, it is what it is. But they were the finals in that. They were the opponent in the finals. So now, maybe last year they got bumped out the first round, probably unexpectedly. Didn't like that one. They come back now. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals. So my thing is people got to start throwing some respect on Eric Spoelstra's coaching career. I think he's been a good damn coach.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I mean, look at some of the teams he had between the Big Three and what he had now. It wasn't like they was a great team, but he still had them playing good basketball. So yeah, I give him the props.
Yeah. So now that we taken care of Miami in that situation, I gave my respects to Spoelstra as he's needed. But I'm looking at Boston, especially what they did in this series against Milwaukee. I didn't expect that damn turn back a clock from Al Horford. I'm being dead serious. I've always loved Al Horford. He to me is kind of like a little watered down version of a Tim Duncan. Very fundamental, nothing flashy. Obviously, the other, I think it was game 6 or game 5 when he had to dunk over Giannis. They were going back and forth, and you see the emotion. So he's a little bit spicier than Tim. So we can say that. Right. but hey man, I'm with you. I gotta say sorry. To Al. I mean, I did not see that. And so imagine You get performances from Al Horford on a consistent basis. Grant Williams obviously takes 18 3-point attempts yesterday, makes 7 of them. He'll never get
Scalabrini
that.
2.0
Look,
out
he'll
there
never.
making buckets.
Yeah, but he'll never get that many
Oh
opportunities
no.
ever again. Let's be honest about that. You get performances like at least somewhat a mirror of that same effort or effectiveness. Get that from him. Jaylen Brown is still good for giving you 20 plus, some good defense. And hell,
Right.
if he's feeling real nasty, he'll drop 30 on you. And then obviously we see what you get with Jason Tatum. I mean, he's the engine of that. Jason Tatum. You might as well pistol in from 40.
But Haslam stayed around for a while though. I'm just reading Jamel's comment.
So Udonis, no, but Udonis Haslam ain't playing though.
I'm just saying, but he played for a long time.
But Udonis Haslam been a cheerleader for the last 2-3 years, bro.
I looked up like he's still playing.
Yeah, he's collecting checks being a cheerleader. He is there for mental toughness.
Hey,
he is there for the mental aspect.
I be shaking pom-poms for a check too.
It's cool. I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at him.
Hey, he probably eating whatever. He probably
doing
whatever.
He ain't going in the game.
Right.
He ain't gotta be conditioned.
I ain't going in the game.
He be ordering ordering chicken wings on the bench.
Hey, he be on the DoorDash something. Right on the He be like, hey man, Shawty, I gotta go home tonight. I gotta go see my wife.
Right.
like he's setting shit up. He's setting plays up. He doing all kinds of shit on the bench.
Right.
But Udonis ain't doing a damn thing. But he is a boss on the bench. Yeah, he's the bench boss. That's Matt hit it right on the head. That's exactly what Udonis is, and that's what I thought Al Horford was turning into be. But then all of a sudden, I don't know how this came about. Maybe it was just better matchup wise. Well, obviously, it was a better matchup wise because you look at the size of Milwaukee, and you got to find a way to kind of match that a little bit. But they were a little bit smaller, so their big men are quicker.
Right.
So I mean, shout out. I forget the Boston Celtics coach name. It's some kind of African name. I be forgetting. But first year coach, and he's doing his thing. I mean, is to me, it's no mistake why he has him here in the Eastern Conference Finals in the first year, and the players bought into it.
Yeah, I mean, he coached them pretty well, man. I mean, Boston looks good, man. Boston, it's a defense oriented first team, and you got to give props to that because the new NBA don't really play defense. You know what I'm saying? So to go and play defense and that's your calling card, I gotta give you props for that.
Yeah, Ime Udoka. I don't know if I pronounced that right. And he said he came from under Popovich from the Spurs.
Oh, okay. So,
hey, that's not a bad coaching tree to come from.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? That is not a bad
I didn't know he had, I know he had coaches on there, but you don't really be hearing about the other coaches. Except when they had what's my man from right. He had one, What PJ on their staff on one time?
PJ Carlissimo's been on his staff.
Yeah.
Pretty much Steve Kerr. No, Steve Kerr.
Oh, Steve Kerr. Okay.
But Steve Kerr, I think was GM down there in San Antonio.
Okay. He played with him for a minute.
Yeah, he did play for him as a Spur. You're right. He did. Same with Robert Horry. They both, I think, retired at some point as a Spur.
Boston versus Anthony said Boston versus Bucks. That game had a lot of calls. Just let them play. Yeah. Yes, I mean,
I
go ahead.
No, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I understand that, But I don't think the calls didn't affect the game that much. You know, because you look at more, you know, you can talk about the Brooklyn series a little more when Boston was allowed to like really put cuffs on them and wasn't called. They turn around and then another game they start calling those same calls as fouls and stuff like that. That you can kind of speak to, and I don't like that kind of stuff. You know, like if you're gonna set a precedence, this is what is gonna be called a foul, not be called a foul the first game. Continue that throughout the whole series. I don't like that kind of inconsistency. But if you establish this gonna be a call from game one, and that's what it is, then that's what it is. You know, and I'm cool with that. But I don't like when you say game one, if I touch him like that, that's a foul. But in game two, if I touch him like that's not a foul. I don't like that kind of inconsistency. Establish game one what it's going to be, and we'll play that throughout the series. And I'm cool with that.
As in, like, you know, get a point to like. It's tough because here's the thing, and
yeah,
maybe
that's true too. What you mean saying?
Calls don't matter if you can't stop no one, and that was the thing. When you look at it, you know, Milwaukee's defense was struggling yesterday.
Struggling.
And Boston couldn't miss. I mean, Jamel, you said it earlier, and then Mel in the comments said it earlier. You know, this is a make or miss type of league,
right?
And look, it's hard, and this is what makes it tough for Giannis yesterday. Is he knew he was going to have to put on a hell of a performance, but you've already seen the defense that Boston was putting on KD. You already seen that defense, and that defense. Well, they pretty much had to turn around and pretty much do the same thing against Giannis.
And it wear you down over 7 games.
But everybody's touching.
Everybody's pushing and touching it. You know, that wears you down over a 7-game period.
Yeah.
It wears you down. Especially if you are the one doing all the scoring, playing the defense. You're going to get wore down quickly. And it showed in Game 7. It just showed.
And I'm sorry, I don't think Chris Middleton makes that much of a difference. You know, we keep it real on this show. It's just my thing is Chris Middleton is just, you know, a solid role player. You know, can he mysteriously sometimes put up 20 plus, 25 plus? You know, maybe even hit 30. Of course, anybody in the NBA is susceptible to do that once in a while. Like a broken clock is right twice a day. So, you know,
right.
You know, but to me, a superstar is one that can do that on a consistent basis, where they have more on nights than they have off nights. Where when they do have an off night, you're like, damn. You don't see too many of those.
So, yeah, you're right. You're right, Anthony. That was a once in a lifetime thing where everybody's raining threes. Everybody's raining. It's like everybody's raining threes. I think I seen the Tower Boy hitting threes.
hey, when they put in the athletic trainer in the high school games,
right?
He was getting in there too.
Right, getting in threes. Shoot, everybody was hitting it. Right. Oh, for real, that's coming down like I was like, whoa.
Everybody getting love.
I mean, but you gotta think about it. You have nights like that in the NBA where you just hot. It happens. And that's why when you play series like this, especially against a team like Boston, you try to put them away so you don't have to go to a Game 7.
Yeah, I think Matt in the comments said that they were up 3-2 before Middleton went out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and thanks for Matt. Matt's always pretty good at research and things like that. So I believe him. He's probably is right. So if that is the case, you know, hey, what's the excuse?
You got to put them away, man.
Put them away.
When you play teams like that, you have to put them away because they bound to have a game like they had in Game 7. It's bound to happen.
Where everything goes there with Amway.
Right. You got to put them, and then you factor in the fact they playing that kind of handcuff, body check type defense is going to wear you down throughout a series. You need to put them away so you can rest for the next series. And that's strictly on Milwaukee. Coaching, all that.
Bro. No, to me that's Budenhauser. I'm sorry. It is because here's my thing. I'm already sickened that your team is taking 33 shots and only made 4. At what point do you say, "Hey, man, we're not making these threes.
Right.
Go somewhere else." Like at some point, you got it as a coach. Say, "Hey, don't shoot no more damn threes. Let's heat up from inside out. Like don't take no more threes. I need more, better, high percentage shots. Take the mid range shot. Take the layup. Take the dunk. Like let's work inside out." Okay, you know what I'm saying? So no, Middleton was out the whole series. What I'm saying is they went up 3-2 without him, so they shouldn't need him to win the series. Oh, okay. No, you're absolutely right, Matt. You're absolutely right. So my opinion, and you make the case for us. If they're up 3-2, and you should have won that game 6 in your house, in your building,
right?
And then you let Al Horford turn back the time, and then the momentum just swung.
If I could turn back time.
But you feel me? It's like the momentum turned. It went as soon as he turned the clock back to Atlanta Hawks. No, he turned it back to damn Florida Gator. Al Horford. He doing dunking and shit.
He went all the way back. Collegiate days, collegiate Horford.
Hey, bro, he turned back the clock to damn Gator Al Horford. I'm talking about kicking it with Joakim Noah, probably kicking it with damn Aaron Hernandez, and didn't even know he was a killer on campus. Al Horford.
We murdering niggas?
I am now.
Is that what we doing, Aaron? We murdering niggas?
I had no idea.
I can't help it, man. I'm sorry, man. I can't help it.
but Boston did what they were supposed to do. Took care of the business. They played hellified defense. I mean, you got to me now. You're talking about handcuffing Kevin Durant. Now you're talking about wearing down Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You're a good one. I ain't even try to pronounce his last. I have to call him Giannis.
Hey man, Jimmy Butler is going to have to play the best all-around series of basketball he's ever going to have to play to get past this defense.
You know what? But I think it's going to be more like the role players. Hero.
Yes. Who hasn't been playing well though?
Yeah.
Hasn't been playing well lately.
I think gonna rely on those role players more than Jimmy. I'm not gonna say Jimmy don't have to have a great game, but I think the role players have to kick in for them to win that series. Because Boston gonna play tight defense.
Yeah.
And so when Jimmy coming in and they collapse on him and it's kicked out, you're gonna have to make them shots. Because one thing about people who play defense like that, if you're knocking out those shots, it started to break them down mentally. Like, dang, we doing everything we can. They're knocking down those shots, and everything's dropping. So you gotta knock down those shots.
Here's my thing: is Jimmy Butler's going to show up every night? I think Jimmy Butler isn't a prolific scorer. He's to me, he's in that category as in you see a game plan for him because more than likely he's possibly the best player on majority of the teams that you're going to see. But I wouldn't say you put him in the category of superstars like LeBron, Luka, KD, Curry. But what I do love about Jimmy Butler is his grittiness, his toughness. So he has the same mentality that these Boston players have. Like
he reminds me of that guy when we used to play like pickup games out on the court. Thanks, Matt. I was waiting for it.
Always on time with it, Matt.
That they just grit. They score. There's nothing flashy about them. They play defense. Nothing you can really point to say what's great about them, but
they do a lot of things good.
They do a lot of things good. And that's how Jimmy is. I think Jimmy, you got a game plan for him. You gotta because he can get open. and or he can drive. If you collapse, he can kick it out.
Tobias Harris over me.
So you have to play
over
for the
me.
game plan, but at the same time, right? That's why the role players are so important in this series for the Miami Heat.
Oh,
so important,
100%,
so important, man.
100%. Tyler Hero, he's gonna have to give you 20.
Bam gonna have to play like
Bam's gonna have to
play phenomenal. He got to play lights out.
Bam's gonna have to play phenomenal. He's gonna have to double the whole playoff series.
Right.
I'm talking about he's got to give me minimum of 10 rebounds. He's got to give me a minimum of 15 points.
Right.
If Bam gives me that and plays defense, stays healthy, I would lean towards Miami. But yeah, I'm with you 100%. Tyler Hero's got to make his shots. Duncan Robinson got to make his shots.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson got
Bam got to be consistent. He got to be. He can't act like a big man one day and act like try to be a shooting guard the next day and he disappeared.
Right. It's all right, bro. It's all right.
So look, and then it needs to be Kyle Lowry. We got to see if you can stay healthy.
Right.
I mean, you've been missing games lately. And then when you're on the court, we need Kyle Lowry. We need a guy that can.
We need Toronto Kyle Lowry.
Or a championship Kyle Lowry.
Right.
We need that guy. We don't need the guy that can't hit water on a yacht.
Right.
We need that Kyle Lowry.
Definitely don't need that.
Because you have your moments where you can't hit shit. So we need you to make some shots.
Right.
But no, I think it's going to be a real tough series, and then it's definitely going to be, to me, obviously with coaches. Who's going to make those good coaching adjustments? Is I.O.W going to be able? And phenomenal season so far as a rookie. But I still love Eric Spoelstra as a damn good coach of basketball. I mean, he's been around it. He's been both of these fellas have been around a lot of basketball, seen a lot,
right?
And they've been around smart people. I mean, Spoelstra's been around Pat Riley. Hello, let's that's a damn good coach right there.
Right.
All right. Ime's been around Popovich. Hello. Good coach right there. So to me, it's going to be about these adjustments and bench play. Obviously, Boston has already shown that they can play not just from their starters, but from contributors off the bench. They've shown that already in 2 series. It needs to be shown by Miami, because right now we've seen the Jimmy Butler show, a sprinkle of some Bam, but other than that, ain't been a lot.
Tyler Hero needs to drop a letter from the series.
Drop a letter R from it. I can be your hero, baby. I can take away your pain. I know a little bit of Enrique, but no, I'm going Boston in 6.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going Boston in 6.
Yeah,
Boston in 6.
I'm just saying, you disrupt KD, you slow down Giannis.
It seemed like this a year. It just seemed. I mean, trust me. I would love to see, because I do like Eric Spoelstra. I would like to see him go to another championship game and lose to the Warriors. But you know what I'm saying. But I would like to at least see him go to another one. But I don't think this is the year.
I would not be surprised if it goes. No, we'll get to that because let's move over to the Western Conference Game 7 that took place yesterday, and we're gonna talk about it, y'all. Because
talk about it.
I mean, it's a lot to talk about. I mean, where do you start? You know what? Let's start on the winning side. All right, and we'll get to the elephant in the room in just a second.
All right.
So here's my thing. Hey, you know what, Matt? I hear you. I know you you're a New York, kind of guy. You can't pick Boston for reasons in my beliefs. Boston, Miami 7. I get it. But
And no, I'm not with you on that one, man. I am, man. I am. It's hard for me to
same,
pick. It's hard for me to pick a Celtics, especially after Larry Bird stepped on the line. But it's hard.
No, I'm with
I
you.
can't stand the Red Sox.
I'm not a fan of anything Boston related. All right.
Right.
I don't even like Boston baked beans. I don't even drink Sam Adams Boston Lager. There's nothing Boston, anything Boston related that I care to
Right.
like. But
I hate yelling and running a Boston in spades just because they need to change the name.
That might be the only time I like Boston. But look, here's my thing. Damn, Luka Doncic, man. That man is something nice. He is something ridiculous. And as you see that shot right there, he was unguardable last night.
Right.
Unguardable.
CP37.
It's something what it is, because his birthday was May 6th, and ever since then he just ain't been worth a damn since he turned
nothing. Right.
Ain't been worth a damn. And we'll get, like I said, we'll get into that in just a second. But Luka Doncic was just lights out, man. And unguardable.
Right.
It didn't matter who you put on him. Luka pretty went into a Mamba mentality mode last night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's like, yo, don't expect a lot of assists. Just don't expect a lot of assists.
I don't never expect a lot of assists when he play.
But what you can expect is I'm about to bust these motherfuckers' asses.
Yeah,
I mean, bust their ass.
You got to look at it like this, man. Luka Black. So you don't eat Boston baked beans at cookout?
Nah. I eat pinto. I eat smoked pintos. I put them on the smoker with my smoked meats. Put my barbecue sauce, onions, and seasonings and peppers in there. And put some smoked meat in there too. Yeah, come on. Boom.
I mean, but I think Dallas is in the same narrative as we was talking about the game 7 with Boston. They couldn't miss. Everybody from Dallas was hitting.
Yeah.
It was like, who was that guy from the bench shooting threes? I mean, everybody was hitting, bro. For real.
You're right.
It was just there. Right.
I'm too high. I didn't even pay attention.
Yo, smoke me. But for real, man. And so, I mean, but I goes back to what I said, the same thing with with the other series. They was bound to get hot. It was bound to happen. Phoenix should have put them away when they had the chance. That's it. They should have put them away. Same thing I said with Milwaukee. Milwaukee should have put Boston away while they was up in the series, because one of these games was bound to happen. They're shooting. They're outside shooting team.
Yeah.
They bound to get hot. It just happens. That's just part of the game.
At some point, they gonna catch fire.
Right, and then you allow them to get back in a series, which built their confidence, which going even more, allude to a game like this. This is crazy, man. There's no way. You was up 2-0. You had their spirits broke. Instead, they broke your spirits. You see the way Phoenix was looking in that game? They was looking like, man, they beating the brakes off us. They had their heads down. They was looking defeated. Mm-hmm. And once you get to that point, game is over.
It's a done done.
It's it. Ain't nothing you can do.
But specifically with this series, the fight with Dallas had, man, you were down 2-0. And you could easily be like, oh man, they're the number 1 seed overall team in the NBA. You got no chance. You can easily start hanging your head down, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Brunson from Villanova.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Give me that guy as my point guard. No, I'm being dead serious.
See, like they should have. I would have took them and start playing street ball.
Right, Brunson.
I've been tripping niggas. For real.
No, but I'm saying you see Brunson right now in this highlight right here. Yo, he's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
He's mentally tough, and that's the kind of player I would like as my point guard. Give me him right here. Yeah, Mr. Bread. Give me him. Give me Brunson. No, for real, man.
I'm laughing at Anthony what he put up there.
I would be looking at Chris Paul like, don't let me catch you in the parking lot. But give me Brunson. Spencer Dinwiddie. And look,
yes.
I've been a big fan of Spencer Dinwiddie. I'm surprised the Nets didn't keep him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that outright, right there.
Look at that. I mean, you just see nothing but his threes just raining.
And so they move Spencer Dinwiddie. He goes to Washington, and then he gets traded before the deadline after they move Kristaps Porzingis to Washington. They get Spencer Dinwiddie back, and ever since that trade, he's been pretty much a missing link to help spark what Dallas has been doing.
Right.
If you would have told me that Dallas Mavericks has been in the Western Conference Finals, I would have laughed at you. I know they got talent.
I don't think Mark Cuban believe that.
Well, here's the thing. I know they got talent. I know they got some talent on that team. And then obviously, Tim Hardaway Jr. isn't like a big needle mover, but he is instrumental to what they do. I mean, he is. He's instrumental to what they do. Right. But he's been out with the injury. But I'm just, to me, I am absolutely shocked that the Nets did not find a way to keep Spencer Dinwiddie. They let him go because he did have a couple of injuries. But what you saw in this series with Spencer Dinwiddie, he was doing that for Brooklyn. Giving them 25 plus off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was doing. And Spencer Dinwiddie is healthy. That's a six-man a 6 man of the year type of dude,
right?
And probably could do it on a consistent basis. And so hey, I think that's Brooklyn's loss.
Oh yeah, they chose offense, and
they could have used them against Boston. They could use that extra 25 plus off the bench against Boston. They could. So and hey. And then keep a good player so KD and Kyrie can't shoot. You must get cracked. nah, man. I don't. Crack is whack. Crack is whack. All right. Crack is whack. Nets chose all offense and who's cold and who's cool with KD and Kyrie. Yeah, pretty much playing favorites. Dinwiddie and Jared Allen were solid for Brooklyn, and they were traded to form Team Super Flip Flops. Hey, you know what, Matt? That was one part of the deal when they got James Harden. I didn't like that they had to give up Jared Allen in that. I think it was a 3-team or 4-team trade, 4-way trade. Because Jared Allen's defense is phenomenal. He's a great rim protector, and then Spencer Dinwiddie because of his offense. I don't know why you let both of those guys walk out the room. But Dallas played great, man. I mean, yeah, damn. I mean, this game was over at halftime.
The first quarter, you talking about?
I think the only reason why I kept watching it is because I'm thinking like, come on, like at least in this, something's going to happen. Right. Like anything? No. I had. I'm like, man, what is this? And oh, hey, hell no! Let's stop the show, Anthony. No.
Anthony say?
Absolutely not. He said, "Hear me out. Trade Clay for AD and another player in the draft pick." If I'm going to state, why would I do that?
This how you get banned.
No.
Why would you? What's your logic behind that, Anthony? Give me.
Yeah,
I want to hear tell me your logic
please.
behind that, because
Please
AD
explain.
hasn't played at mostly none last year. So why would you trade a person who's producing for a person who has not produced in a while?
And Clay's too much of an important two-way player for what Golden State does. Because what you get with Clay is you're going to get him on that defensive side to take on your shooting guard, take on a point and shooting guard, and he's going to play good defense on them. Obviously, you saw the play that he made against Memphis when he was on another guy and turned around and forced Ja to take a tougher shot.
Yeah, but okay. He says, "Where's I getting? Oh, we build a young team around Poole and Curry." I can see that in a way, but
I still want to give
not with AD.
80, 29, 80, 29, 30. Clay's about 31, 32. You're not missing that much in years. You're missing a lot in games missed with one guy. Let's be honest. I know Clay's missed the last year and a half or almost 2. But, I mean, if you're talking about the accumulation of games missed that Clay has to AD, I'm pretty sure it's a lopsided number.
Right.
I know.
And I'm not giving up Draymond and Clay for AD anyway.
I wouldn't do it, Anthony.
I give you a 40 and a bag of weed for that nigga.
Oh, where? That's all you need for him?
It's on the way. Can we DoorDash that to you?
hey, like if it's OG Kush and you add on some you adding on some dab. Oh yeah, let's go.
There you go.
You add on some dabs. Yeah, come on, let's go. We can do that because I ship AD's ass quick, fast, in a hurry.
Quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah, Clay, and some of that Cali good in the 40. Oh yeah.
No, I ain't say Clay, nigga. I said just 40 and some weed. That's all you getting. That's all you getting. That's all that nigga worth. That's all he worth.
That motherfucker only worth some 40.
I'm gonna put. I'm not just like how your mom used to do back in the day is pin a little note on you. You know what I'm saying? We go somewhere. I put that in his pocket. Going up there, man.
Hey, Clay is enough on defense. We talking about the NBA, hey, man. So anytime you put effort in defense, that automatically makes you a good defensive player in the NBA. So he still puts effort in it. All right. To get AD, you got to Draymond and Clay. Yeah, and I wouldn't do it.
I ain't doing that. Draymond's the heart and soul of the team.
Emotional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Making 240. So you gotta deal.
Some of that old English. But since Anthony took us off this topic with this mess, say he's not worth weed. I can always flip that weed for double. So then, why you even give us this hypothetical, then, Anthony? If you know he's worthless.
But but here's the thing. I understand the premise behind them getting young, but they are getting young. Look at the young players they have.
It's in-house.
It's in-house. Wiggins, Poole.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gary
my man, Jay Payton. Yeah, Jay Payton.
Jonathan Kuminga.
Right.
Toscana. They got young.
Right.
Dudes on that squad that been contributing all year.
And they've been contributing. I mean, you keep the same nucleus. They learn, the young guys learn from them, and each year you just keep building young players. And all you do is just flip that roster over.
Brother, the Warriors are in good position. I wouldn't even disrupt that for no sorry.
Yeah, I would not for no Anthony Davis.
Mr. Glass.
Right.
Mr. Fragile, French for fragile. Mr.
Yeah.
That man probably fart and might break his back, man.
Yeah, why? I forgot about
that. Man
that.
might cough and break a rib.
Right. For
that
real.
Man might get up from taking the shit and twist an ankle.
Twisted ankle, tears ACL.
Yeah, that man hop out the shower and his Achilles is torn.
Right.
He better have good floor mats on his floor when you get out the shower.
Man, that nigga think about walking and tears ACL.
Yeah.
I'm good with him. I'm good.
Nah, look, and
he already ready for the convalescent home.
and Matt brings up a good point. Wiseman's still been out with injury. Why rush him back?
Yeah. They ain't gotta rush him back. They about to play in the Western Conference finals. They didn't have to rush him back.
Okay, my bad. I want to see my Washington too bad, so I'm blowing up every team. He's like, some of these pieces gotta come to Washington somewhere. Like, come on, who coming? Who coming?
Y'all can have Westbrook back.
No. But you know what? Here's a good thing about what Washington did. They took those pieces that they were able to get from Russell Westbrook, and they got Porzingis if he can stay healthy. You already dumped Montrezl Harrell, so you know that's gone. But Bradley Beal, wait till he gets back from injury. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's been fine and staying in Washington for the money. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think he goes. See what you get in the draft. I mean,
right.
You know, but also see what kind of veteran pieces you can possibly get that just want a job. And, you know, hey, see, Matt, you talk about just dumping Julius Randle, but I mean, you know, I think just as the whole Knicks organization, that shit, y'all in trouble from the get go. Because last year y'all playoff team, this year y'all don't want to make the playoffs, so y'all don't know what y'all want to be. Y'all don't know if y'all want to be a good or a bad team.
They want to fluctuate between the two.
I'm like, man, we was good last year. Yeah, that was last year. What y'all gonna do this year? Damn, we were bad. What y'all gonna do next year? I don't even know. I can't even guess it.
Man, I don't know. They are an anomaly. That's all I can say. Because you would think, hey, fuck you. But you would think after last year, man, they was on the projection of going up. Mm-hmm. Man, it was looking good. I was like, oh yeah, can't wait to see what they do next year. I mean, you gotta say that's one of the disappointing things to see as a fan.
I don't know. I think I might find something that's more disappointing.
What's that?
That performance that Phoenix put up last night. And every last one of them. Chris Paul didn't play well.
Man, he was sitting on the bench, bruh, while they were getting blown out. That's how bad. It's like, oh, we ain't even put you in. There's no games like that happen. Your superstars stay in the game until at least
but that's
the fourth quarter. This is the third quarter. He on the bench.
Oh, I'm glad you said that word, superstar. I'm glad you said that. Because here's my thing about Chris Paul, and I've been being quite honest about it. I think Chris Paul is a top 5 point guard.
Okay.
But I never considered him a superstar. And here's why.
That's a good question, Anthony. We get to that in a minute.
What's more sad, Suns or Nets? And yeah, he did, Matt. He did disappoint the last 4 games. But here's my thing on why I've never considered him a superstar. Because I consider a superstar as a player that can affect the game on a consistent basis whenever the hell they choose to. Like a Kobe Bryant could affect the game in any way. At any moment when he chose to. A Michael Jordan was a superstar. A LeBron James is a superstar. They can affect the game when they choose to at any point in the game. As in, hey, I could take it over. Hey, my teammates ain't getting it done, so I got to do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To me, those are superstars.
Okay.
When everything else is failing around you, you are the one that, hey, digs everybody up out there, digs, because you about to not only put the game on your back, but then at some point in time, you're going to still rely on them in clutch moments.
I'll argue and say he can. It just ends at the end of April. That's all. Once May hit, all that's out the window.
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. Say I'm good up until April. Get the best you can out of me, and that's it.
But here's my thing, because this is why we got to classify. That's why we need to have this conversation about where exactly would you classify a superstar, and where exactly would you have Chris Paul? And me personally, I think he is an elite point guard, but I don't consider him a superstar. I don't even think he's a superstar on the Suns team. In my opinion, Devin Booker is a superstar on your team, and I'm more disappointed in.
So are you calling Chris Paul a role player?
I'm calling Chris Paul a very elite role player. Yes, I am. He is a very elite role player.
I can't. Here's my thing about Chris Paul. If he doesn't consistently choke in the playoffs, I can call him a superstar. He don't have to win a championship, because Barkley, I think, was a superstar. He didn't win a championship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's about the chip, more about him disappearing in the playoffs. I think that's what keeps him from getting that label put on him. Because during the regular season, I mean, they're the only team that won 60-some games this year. And they going home. And they sitting at the crib. They in no way, nothing less than the finals should have been for Phoenix.
Bro, we said it last year when they went to Game 6 in the finals, and first thing that went through my mind.
You got a good point there, Anthony.
He haven't earned it. He's the butler. Look,
he's Alfred.
My thing is after you lose in Game 6 to the Bucks, I'm thinking, first thing that goes to my mind, oh my God, that's Chris Paul's best opportunity to get the chip. That was it. You're in the finals. And now you turn around, you have a phenomenal season as a team.
Right, man. I agree.
And there were points that Chris Paul did miss time, but Devin Booker made sure that they still stayed at the #1 seed late in the season. And so that's why I'm not considering him a superstar. That team did just fine without him.
Right.
But you saw when Booker was hurt earlier in the playoffs, that was a different team.
Totally different team.
So to me, there's a difference of playing without Chris Paul and a difference of playing without Devin Booker. And that kind of paints my picture of where I'm at. Where
Chris Paul is a side chick. He good when the holidays and stuff come around, they ain't there.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, they get seen on February 15th or 16th, never on 14th.
Hey, why does Candy say? Why does Candy say boo? Because you my boo. That's not Halloween Candy.
Hey, she don't get her Christmas present until after the New Year's. You know what I'm saying? You get your Thanksgiving plate on Monday after and everything else is ate. This is it. So
you don't get the turkey. You don't get the turkey. You get the turkey sandwich. The stuff you make after Thanksgiving.
That's a leftover sandwich.
You know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
It's hard right now to read anything that retain it probably, but reading playoffs. Okay, I'll get that in a second. But I want to say this though. Two things. Chris Paul said he's not retiring.
So he signed the contract last year or going into this year.
So now, if you Phoenix, what do you do? Now you're looking at what he does.
I'll say this: Jay
Smoke is
Crowder,
uh-huh.
Jay Crowder won't be there.
Yeah,
he wasn't consistent enough.
What's up, Kofi?
He wasn't consistent enough with what he was doing. You'll
Okay.
probably see.
Do you keep Chris Paul?
Well, they signed him to deal that going into this year. So unless you're trying to find somebody that's going to take that money,
man.
I mean, he's 38 million. It's 38 million, bro.
There's ways to do a lot of everything.
Look, I'll be honest. As much as I got CP in my top 5 point guard, he had a terrible series. It's okay.
Every time we go to the playoffs, has a terrible series.
No, I don't want to say every time. I'm just especially this series right here. The last 4 games, he did not play.
Man, game 7 is his kryptonite. Knicks might take that. Yeah, they might take that contract.
Yeah, I think Knicks would definitely take that CP contract.
Yeah, he hiring full time for insurance. Kofi.
Be the State Farm guy. I mean, that's cool. But I don't look. Chris Paul is going to have more good games than bad games. I don't know if he's cursed, but his bad games pop up at the wrong damn time. Hey, but he's not the only one that has bad games in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Because here's my thing.
No, okay, go ahead.
We're talking about point guards and time. Because I wish Nick would have brought his ass on here because I was going to light his ass up because he wants to make it seem that he has Stockton in his top 5 point guard list, and he'll shit on Chris Paul for his lack of playoff success.
Same player, tighter shorts.
But that's what I'm saying. Stockton ain't got no Steve Nash has no playoff success. But people got him in their top 5 of point guards. My thing is as much as people want to crap and dog on Chris Paul, he's in a category like Stockton, like Nash, who people put in their top 5 of point guards.
Right.
So my thing is we got to be consistent on this.
So let me say this. Are you talking about who, like your top 5 or top 10, everyone's whatever list you put in? You talking about players? All right. So you talking about skill versus production, or skill versus championships? Let's say that's, or playoff performance, however you want to put it. Skill wise, I can see some of those players in your top 5, but what that skill produces on the court is totally different. So you take Chris Paul, skill wise, yeah, you can say, okay, he can be in your top 5. However, that skill is not producing a good product when it comes to the playoffs. So, you know what I'm saying, what are you using as your litmus test as a top 5, top 10, whatever?
And me personally, and this is why, it's always going to be subjective. But me personally, when I'm looking at point guard, I'm talking about as in playing the position of point guard that I prefer. Or because I'm looking at a distributor, one that can play defense, one that can not necessarily be the scorer, but can score if need be. And pretty much just the whole all around game of basketball is what I'm actually looking at. Like if you have elevated stats in one category, I already know what kind of point guards you are.
I agree with that, Kofi. I agree with that.
What's that?
He said, people favorites are not built off skills. People like names and keep up with the Joneses. And I agree with Matt. So that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm kind of saying too, Matt, what you saying.
Said just on gameplay itself and skills is one thing, but are you considering playoff chips with that? I do consider it in there, but here's my thing. I'm not one of those type of people that go basically solely based off of accolades. Yes, accolades have to be part of it, but here's my thing. I can't stand when people look at the stats. Like, oh, look at the stats. Look at the stats. See, look at the stats.
Right,
He's the best. He's the best. But but stats to me have to be taken into the context of the situation. And one of my biggest arguments that I have with people is, of course, Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook. All them triple doubles, they look cute, but when you break down them triple doubles, like how easy it is to get a triple double when teammates refuse to go get a rebound and it falls right to you, or you know, or hell, you forcing your teammates to shoot with 3 seconds left, and if you dish it to a person who's actually a good shooter, they don't. 3 seconds is no issue with them to get a good shot. You know what I'm saying? So, when you got Bradley Beal getting those assists, hey, that looks good. When you're assisting to Paul George, who's been sitting in the corner waiting for you to pass it in Oklahoma City, and he drains it. Oh, that's easy to get an assist, and it's easy to get rebounds and points when your team's down double digits all the time and you're playing catch up for majority of your games.
Right.
That looks damn good. Oh yeah. So that's why I don't fall in love with the stats with all that arguments. And that's why when people look at the stats, I'm like, I ain't even gonna bother wasting my time with you because you're not looking at the context of when these stats were made.
Right. You just have to look at it from its entirety, from its totality. You got to sometimes stats help in certain ways, but you can't look at stats alone.
Yes.
So, because if you look at, let's just take player A. I'm not going to name names, just use names as an example. Player A has 10 rebounds. Player B has 8 rebounds, right? But player B could still be an all-around better player than player A, but if you just take the stats alone, you'll say, oh, player A is better because he has more rebounds. Mm-hmm. So, what factors into those rebounds? What type of schemes is that team playing? All those things got to take into factor when you're looking at players and comparing them, who's in your top, blah, blah, blah. And then like Kofi said, it has to be skill only. I agree with that 90%. You know what I'm saying? You still have to have other factors just outside of skill. Because I know some excellent skilled players, but they lack in other things too. Because, you look at killer instinct that comes in. I think you still got to factor in some playoff performance because go back to Chris Paul, he has a great skill set, but if I'm picking you as my top 5, that means if I'm picking you on my team, if I'm making a team, I don't get pick you for the regular season only. That's it. Because when it comes to playoffs, you're gonna disappear. So how can I put you in my top 5? You know what I'm saying?
And that's a fair
So I say you still have to consider some of those things. I just don't think that you can say one particular thing puts you in my top 5 for my group of players I'm gonna put in there. That's just my opinion.
No, hey, and that's a fair argument. That is a fair piece. So it's okay to agree with things and still see them different because I agree with your point. But I'm just going based off of what Chris Paul does as a point guard, where he's always been more of the distributor first point guard. And make sure that his team is involved and knowing that he can still get his. It's just that in yesterday and pretty much the last 4 games of this series against Dallas, he was uncharacteristic. I mean, it's not on the usual basis that you're seeing this many turnovers from Chris Paul. It's not on a normal basis that you see that he couldn't hit not a damn thing. Couldn't hit the side of a barn standing right next to the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's not a usual thing. Now, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it is true. So people they're gonna automatically look at Chris Paul like, there's another game in the playoffs, another one, another series.
Right. But all right, look at like Isaiah, one of my favorites. Magic, Jordan, I mean, recently I put Steph in there. Allen Iverson.
No, wait. Are we doing point guards?
Well, just I'm just we talking about pure point guards. Then it might be a little different. I'm just naming those to say I don't think Chris Paul.
Because Jordan could have played a point if he really.
Yeah, he could have. Right. So I don't think
and still been just as dominant.
I don't think Chris Paul. Well, if you just take Jordan out and just name the other four, I don't even think Chris Paul put Jason Kidd in there. Because I don't think that Chris Paul breaks the plane with those players.
All right. So, and I see, and so, give me your top 5 point guards, and then
I just take the ones I just named.
So you said Magic. I agree with you there.
Isaiah.
I agree with you there.
Allen Iverson.
I agree with you there.
Jason Kidd. Who am I missing? I throw Curry in there.
You said Steve Kerr?
No, Curry. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. Here's my thing. I would say Steph Curry because he is technically listed as a point guard, but the way he plays is so it's a hybrid of point shooter.
I mean, Kyrie. He better than I think he better than Chris Paul.
Ooh, damn. Damn.
So that I just named 6 players. He don't even break those 6 the planes to those 6. If you know what I'm saying, you want to technically say Jordan can play point, D put Jordan there, he don't break those 7. So I'm saying all those players, I'm trying to think what I named before I make this statement. All those players performed in the playoffs.
J Kidd did, Kyrie did, AI did. Yeah, AI did. It wasn't his fault. He had nobody else on the team.
Right.
Steph Curry, I mean, the accolades are there pro-season wise, as in championships and extra performance. Magic, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Isaiah, that's another no-brainer.
Right, man.
Damn. You actually make a compelling case. You know, I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that. I think that's probably the only piece of thing that's stopping me from taking, or I think that's the only thing that when you put that argument up like that, it's hard for me to rebuttal because I mean these guys got the proof that they can play in the playoffs.
Right. So I think you have to add part of that to it. And it's not to take away from his skill. He still have a skill set that's usable, just not after April.
And let me say this: when people say this all NBA team, first team defense, first team offense, all that shit, I don't pay attention to that bullshit because it's all based on what these writers feel. And majority of these writers ain't ever stepped on the NBA court. The only time they have is to report some shit. And it's the same reporters that we talk and dog on this show and in the chats because they opinions is worthless.
Stephen A. Smith.
He's one of them. Well, Kendrick Perkins did play NBA basketball, but somehow he loses his basketball sense once he goes over to the other side.
But he didn't play great basketball.
I think ESPN didn't fucked around and brainwashed him, so I don't know what the hell's going on with his take.
Yeah, Tim Hardaway, Gary Payton.
It's you make a compelling case, but like you
said, I throw in Oscar Robertson. I've seen highlights of him. I've seen highlights of him play. Yeah. So I mean, I'm going by highlights.
A lot of basketball people will put Oscar in top 5.
Right.
Damn.
So, I mean, and it's not to put him down as a player, as a skill set. It's just that I think
he's still great.
I think he's still great. I mean, it's a lot.
To be the Dan Marino of NBA.
Okay. I
was like, come on, you gotta rock with me in that comparison.
I'm just trying to think, because he did at least go to a Super Bowl, even though he lost it. He still went to Super Bowl in his rookie year, so I can't say he didn't produce in the playoffs. So I'm saying, I think it's a little difference when he didn't disappear when he played. He just happened to lose. He just happened to lose. Dan Marino. Versus we're more saying that CP3 disappears. So I mean, I don't know if it's an apple to apples comparison. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, Mark Jackson, Mo Cheeks.
I love Mo Cheeks.
Yeah.
No.
Me too.
No, it's going to be an interesting series. Dallas and Golden State. How do you see that breaking down, big homie?
Golden State in 6. I think what Golden State does well is they eliminate your best player and make your other role players have to beat you. I mean, look what they did with Joker. I mean, he still scored, but he wasn't dominating like he was in other series. You know, they made your role players have to beat you. And I think they'll do that with Luka. I mean, Luka probably gonna still get some, but he's not gonna do like he did to Phoenix. You're gonna have to Dinwiddie gonna have to do that consistently through the whole series. You know, Finney, all the rest of them have to produce throughout the whole series. And that's the only way they're gonna win this series. If they can't do that, Golden State in 6.
I'm saying Golden State in 5, man.
You said 5?
Mm-hmm. Because if I'm Golden State and I'm Steve Kerr, one is I'm hoping I hurry up and get my ass back and get Mike Brown off my damn team. Because that embarrassing loss that they took to Memphis, that shit was embarrassing.
That was Mike Brown-esque. I mean, think Cleveland, Lakers.
Bruh. So if I'm Steve Kerr,
I mean, I like Mike. I think Mike's a cool person, but coaching wise,
nah,
he might need to
look.
He might need to watch some more YouTube videos.
Bro, I need you to step to the side. Yeah, thank you. I'll take my team back. Thank you.
Right.
That needs to happen first. So let's
appreciate you, bro. I got this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for what you've done. But yeah, I got this. Yeah, that's exactly what needs to happen. Once that's done and over with, Steve Kerr needs to go ahead and be like, look, I actually saw what Lucas just did in this game 7, and he's pretty much been doing it all season. Mm-hmm. This man's unguardable. Unguardable. I don't care who you put on him. Big dudes ain't quick enough. Mm-hmm. Small dudes ain't big enough.
Right.
He what do you do? This man's been playing against professional guys over in Europe since
16.
16. Mm-hmm. He's seen it all. Mm-hmm. He's been in the league since 2018. He gets it now. All right. Let's make it understood and make it clear. He's a superstar. He's going to get his. What I need to do is what I saw Spencer did when he did in the series against Phoenix. I need to shut that down.
Right.
What Brunson did in that series, I need to shut that down. Mm-hmm. Look, I wouldn't even play hard defense on Luka. I would say make sure that whoever I put on him at least put a hand up, be in the way. But for the most part, he got moves on moves. The big dude can ball, right? Mm-hmm. So he's gonna get his. I need to shut everybody else out. Okay. I wanted to be the Luka show. I want Luka to end up with 56 points and 3 assists. Nobody else is scoring. If I shut everybody else out, what is Luka about to Wilt Chamberlain and score 120?
Right.
He'll get 56. Mm-hmm. But can he match our probably easily between Clay and Steph? That's easily probably 50 right there.
Mm-hmm. But that's another thing too. You gotta look at too. The Warriors are a type of team that can have multiple game 7s. And I mean, like how Dallas and Boston was hitting everything. They can have multiple games like that. Mm-hmm. They just go off and just get hot and just you can't stop them. They're hitting everything. And plus, Steph hitting it from the parking lot. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey. Especially when he get hot. You know what I'm saying? He can hit it from everywhere. And he can drive too.
Mm-hmm.
So, they had that one thing about them is they have a team where they can have those multiple game sevens. So that's bad for Dallas.
Not to mention, and okay, so here's why I say that they'll do it in 5 because Golden State, I think they've been playing around and they've been getting too cute, and so that's why they went 6 with Memphis. You know, Ja was out. What are you doing playing around?
And don't forget about Mike Brown.
Well, I mean, I get it.
You got to bring that part in there.
Yes, that plays a key part. Yes. I can't dismiss that. You're absolutely right. But damn, it's like there were moments that I felt like they were kind of playing damn Harlem Globetrotter, trying to be too cute and shit. And they were shooting themselves in the foot. It's silly amount of turnovers, bad shot selection, and I thought they were more self-inflicting wounds than what. And not to take away from Memphis and that beatdown that they gave them, because they deserve that beatdown.
Oh yeah.
But there were times where throughout that series, I'm like, man, come on,
like what y'all doing?
Y'all can't be playing around, like get them up out of there. And so stop messing around because that's how you end up sitting at home on vacation. That's how you sit at home on vacation.
Playing golf.
And so, but because they are a deep team with a lot of players that contribute.
I get that, Matt.
So it's if they take them maybe bullshitting around, then I think it'll be that one game that Dallas can't get. But I hope I'm no basketball expert, but I'm just saying that's what I would do. I would let Luka get his. Score your 56.
Man, I be doing like else. The bad boy. They don't come in the paint.
Yeah, but
if I was Draymond, don't come in the paint, bro. You don't catch this ball. See, man, let me say, if I construct a basketball team, I'll have at least 3 players I don't care about just to put them in a game to foul the shit out of somebody. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you kick that player out, I got another one. I got at least 3. If you come down the lane, you gonna feel this.
Hey, y'all gonna use your fouls, bro.
Right, you gonna use your fouls, bro. All 5 of them, bro.
hey, because I would carry like 3 centers. I would carry 3 centers.
Right, enforcers.
You're right, man. I would carry 3 centers. I would carry
that's what Kendrick Perkins should use. Kendrick Perkins should have been used for.
He was.
You know what I'm saying? Because it dang sure wasn't skill.
No, it wasn't skill. I would have a whole bunch of 6'11" dudes and a whole bunch of 7-foot dudes, and everybody else is probably 6 foot to 6'8" shooters.
I had niggas looking like wrestlers and football players, putting bodies on them. Don't shoot the ball. All you need to do is hit this guy coming to the lane. Don't shoot the ball.
Play defense.
Right.
Play defense and rebound. Don't worry about the shooting.
You tell like you heterosexual. You don't touch balls.
Wowie. Hey, just rebound and play defense. And if you so happen to get a putback dunk, then good.
Hey, so be it. You know what I'm saying?
If you get a rebound and you right there at the basket, then go.
Right. You better Dan Campbell bite off kneecaps. We up in this piece. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you here to inflict pain, bro.
That's all you here for. If nobody leave out with at least a Band-Aid, you ain't getting paid. Right. Swing for the fences, right?
Hey, it ain't a real foul until I see blood. No blood,
right. No blood, no foul.
I need a
gorilla ball.
Please,
right.
Hey, we gonna lead the league in personal fouls.
Right. I said Luka's like he ain't never coming to paint playing us. I stay out here.
No, for real, I'd be a hard-nosed basketball coach, man.
Yeah, man.
You gotta be physical.
Old school.
Yeah. Dog, play, man, because here's the thing, a lot of people don't understand.
Right, street ball. That's right, Matt.
Yeah, you gotta play a little. You gotta have some dog in you, man.
You got to, man.
Just imagine when you play physical and then the team plays finesse and they don't get touched, they gonna shoot you out the gym.
Right.
No, I gotta, dog. I'm emptying out my bench. Half my dudes might foul out. I don't care. But I know the dudes that really can't score. Yeah, y'all definitely found out.
Yeah, you definitely found out.
Yeah, you're not. You
gonna earn that paycheck today. For real.
For real, play hard-nosed defense. Hell yeah.
That's it, bro.
Hell yeah, but yeah, now come on, man. Warriors in 5, man.
Say Warriors in 5? Okay.
Yeah. He went with me in the gym. But no, I gotta show some love to another sport that people don't. You know, they try to crap on it because it's more of a Canadian sport. But you know, NBA had 2 Game 7s. Did y'all know that the NHL had 5 this weekend?
Bruh, you got to talk about the Rangers and the Penguins.
Bruh.
How? This is the third time.
I got
they came back from 3-1.
Watch this.
Fox for Panarin, skating in, shoots, scores! Timmy Panarin, the hero in Game 7, with the curtain call in the series for the Rangers. And New York is going to Carolina.
Well, the comeback team all season long, 27 comebacks, only second to the Florida Panthers. Did it in 3 consecutive games. You heard Carolyn talking about it, Malkin, Crosby, Letang, as we have a look at this goal here. It's a missed pass, and he turns around, comes inside, back to the point to Fox. He's going to wait and set it up, and as he rolls around the top, he likes the angle he sees there. He's got Kreider.
How did that get... How do you not get pumped by that?
Man, I know, man. I like that.
I mean, I don't know how you. Oh my gosh! Here you go, Matt. Here's your mention of the Yankees. Ranger fans are buzzing up here. No talk of baseball. A certain team is 25-9. The reason why we're not talking a lot of baseball right now, Matt, it's May. It's May.
It's playoff hockey. Playoff basketball.
Look, a lot can change.
They play like 500 games.
Yeah.
We'll get to them.
We'll talk baseball, but come on.
Wait a minute. What is it, the Baltimore Orioles you're talking about?
I can't. You're ridiculous. That was great. 27 comebacks in the regular season. 3 in this series.
But 3 times when they was down three games, man. They was down 3 games. They came back 3 times, bro. That's amazing.
Great series.
Great series, man.
And I've said it before on this show, and people laugh at me. They were like, I would rather watch an NBA. I'd rather watch an NHL playoff game than an NBA playoff game.
It'd be hype, man.
And because of reasons like that, did you not see that crowd? Did you hear it?
Hype.
I know you felt that. I know you felt that as a lover of sports.
Right.
I don't care if you never watch hockey, but as a lover of sports, you had to feel that.
Right.
You had to feel that. But guess what? It didn't even end there. I was up last night watching this.
Has the puck now, down low for Gaudreau to Kachuk in the corner, back to Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau in front, feeds a pass to Lindholm, stopped by Ottinger, took it up high. Gaudreau scores! Johnny Gaudreau sends the Flames to round 2. Bring on the Battle of Alberta. He pairs off with his buddy Kachuk. A little give and go now. Gaudreau will walk out first, get the first chance out in the slot, and there's the initial chance. But this is just a smart goal scorer's goal. You know, from a bad angle, just throw it towards the net after Lindholm with the initial chance. And Gaudreau just knew that Ottinger would be, was still retreating back to the post, and that puck had eyes, and somehow a pretty happy group and a pretty happy city at the moment in Calgary.
Them Flames, baby.
This is the first round.
Then it's playing ACDC.
TNT. Dynamite. TNT.
Yeah, man. It's good to see, man.
This is the first round.
It's the first round, bro.
And you had five game sevens in the first round. There's eight series, y'all. And 5 of them went to game 7. How do you not get more compelling, more exciting sports entertainment than that?
The Calgary Flames.
But man, for those who crap on hockey, I get it. I've heard it. Mel comes from a hockey town.
You hear that, Nashville?
Who got swept.
Right.
Who didn't even win one game in the playoffs. Didn't win one. It's funny because we talked about them last Monday, and they didn't even get not one game in that series.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't call yourself hockey town.
Hockey town. Get a chip first. Get one.
No,
just
get
one.
Get a playoff win.
Get a playoff win. Then come holler at me.
No, they made it to the Stanley Cup.
That's right. I forgot. Get a chip. Then come holler at me.
But get a chip. You got to get a chip.
We got 11. Yeah. 11. No other franchise in the United States have more than we do. And only two outside the United States. Get a chip. Then holler at me. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I did not mean to bring up bitter feelings again. But no, for those, of course, like I said, Mel's from a hockey town, and I've lived in a cold state called Iowa that there's a lot of hockey around there. Mm-hmm. And, and I think what set me off about hockey is, I went to a couple Charlotte Checkers game, which is a minor league.
Well, I knew that.
Yeah, so I went to a couple of them. Dope stuff to see live. But I think it was the 2008 Winter Olympics, and it was like Canada, USA for the gold medal. Mm-hmm. And it was just good. It was good at, just acts of athleticism. And,
right.
And then when you add on the good announcing, if you got a good announcer, I don't know, it set it off. And back in the days, I remember the puck had a little glow thing on it. Mm. I watched it back in the day.
So I don't know if you're gonna show it yet. So maybe I'll wait till you see if you're gonna show it before I ask this question. But I'm just gonna ask it. Is the Toronto Maple Leafs, and this is no knock against, I know he's not here, but you hear this a lot. It's like the Toronto Maple Leafs, like the New York Jets of hockey, because I say, oh, the Jets gonna do something to mess it up. I always hear that. and then here's Toronto.
Toronto.
They always do something. I mean, people was talking about Toronto really going far in the playoffs this year. You know, this might be the year. Da 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 da. And they did what they do.
They had the two-time defending champs on the ropes.
Yeah,
had them on the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
And couldn't shut the deal. Couldn't shut the door.
Right.
I mean, definitely not a good choke job on their part. I mean, look, we said it when it comes to basketball. When you are up,
mm-hmm.
You know, they were up 2-1, and then they were up 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You let them win. The last pretty much 2 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I like Tampa Bay, man. I love to see them win. I love to see them win another one, get 3 in a row. But Toronto, man, shoot, they choking like a chick without a gag reflex. For real. What the hell?
Oh, really?
I'm just saying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what you choking for? I thought you
What
had
choking
for?
Relax your throat. Relax your throat.
Something is absolutely wrong.
Yeah, massive ball gag.
Yeah, we don't want to know what you're doing over there, man. And, you keep that.
But for real though, man, I mean, they continue to do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, Toronto. And I mean, I'm not a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, but as a fan, it has to be disheartening.
Heartbreaking every year.
You know, especially like this year, they was really saying, because I remember we was talking to Jeff earlier. Was it earlier this year?
Mm-hmm.
A shout out to Jeff Salmon, Canada Talks, channel 167. You know, check out the show if you got Sirius FM. He was on the show, and I think we was talking baseball. I think he did bring up the Maple Leafs, and he was saying how this year looks good for the Maple Leafs and stuff like that.
People were excited,
and people were excited about the Maple Leafs, man. And then you have the two-time defending champion on the ropes, and you choke like this, man. You can't do that, bro. I mean, as a fan of watching the sport, it's great to see.
Yeah.
But as a fan of Toronto, it's not great to see at all.
Oh no, they are they are the team that you be like, damn it. No, I would say more like the Raiders.
Okay.
Because you think of the history of the Maple Leafs and the Raiders. You know, they
did have some great history back in the day. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Because Toronto and Edmonton are the only teams that have more chips than the Red Wings.
Mm-hmm. So, and Toronto's been waiting. That city's been waiting for them to get back to the chip.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And when you got the two-time defending champs, you definitely got to take them out. You know
right.
You got to put them out. Interesting news today. Cornerback just got paid. Zaire Alexander, Green Bay Packers. 4 years, $84 million. $30 million signing bonus.
Wow.
Who has the most titles in American major sports? Oh my gosh. He gets on my nerves.
Sports in general?
You know, he's talking about the Yankees, man.
Hold on. Let me think of is it that
he said who has the most titles in American major sports. He's just trying to find a way to
hold on, wait a minute. Is that the Raiders? Okay, man, we're gonna leave. We got 10 minutes. Go ahead and talk about your Yankees, man. What you want to talk about? 5. They 25-9. I mean, the Yankees look good. I mean, all jokes aside, the Yankees look good, man.
No, don't try to put that on me, man. You know good and damn well talking about I mentioned them. No, I read your comment because now your comment was mentioning them. And don't try to say, well, I didn't say your name. You did. Yeah, you're not getting me. You're not slicking it well, pussy boy. I see what you did there.
I mean, here's the thing. And, you know, the Yankees have a historic history. So I won't put them in the same category as Toronto and all that stuff. So I'm not saying that, but it's still early.
Yeah,
collapse can happen.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a Yankees fan outside the Tigers. I tell people all the time. So it's not like I'm crapping on the Yankees at all. I'm not. I just like when it's this early, I just like to sit back and just watch and see and wait and see until you get to at least 30. I mean not 30, you get like 50 games. About 50 games in.
No, let's be honest. A lot can happen between now and after All-Star break. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To me, the regular season don't even matter until after All-Star break. That's when you start really getting to the close.
Because a lot of the teams start to get kind of solidified. You know, your division starting to see now they kind of settle in who's the really the leader of that division around after All-Star break and stuff like that.
Well, in all honesty, to me, it's not till mid-August I can get an idea of what's really good because some of these teams still make trade deadline moves in July.
Yeah, that's true too.
And as Atlanta Braves last year, how the trade deadline did them, it got them to a World Series and got them to win it.
I mean, the White Sox still look good, but it's still early.
So, and that's why I say that. And like, let's wait till trade deadline goes through. Now, if trade deadline comes and Yankees don't have to make a move, Judge, Stanton are actually staying healthy. You know, rest of your lineup is staying healthy. Your pitchers are staying healthy. You know, I know the pitching looks damn good right now, but you know, there's no guarantee that it's just going to be consistent come July, early August.
Right.
And we've already seen how up and down the bats of Judge and Stanton can be. There's times where they, every time you see them, they're smacking a home run 450 feet. And there's times where you see them leading the league in strikeouts. So let's
I can talk baseball. It doesn't have to be.
So, but I will watch out for Tampa Bay Rays are always a threat to take the East. You know,
as long as Boston don't win, I'm happy.
Well, Boston's down in the.
I know. I'm just saying. That's why I'm enjoying that. I can enjoy that from the beginning of the season to the end. They could be 0-2. I'm happy.
I mean, say what you want. Surprisingly, the Los Angeles Angels are doing pretty well right now. The Houston Astros, as much as
but the Astros especially since I can't think of it. Baker. Yeah, Dusty Baker been there. They always in a position where they looking good. You know, always in a competitive position. So I'm not surprised about the Houston Astros. You know, and especially with Dusty down there. So no, they ain't cheating again.
Hey, but that's the thing.
Yeah, Brewers look good too. Yeah, Brewers look good, but it's like last year they look good. And
hell, and look at every team in the NL West. There's 5 teams that are all 5 teams in that division are over 500 or at 500.
Right.
The worst team is the Rockies at 17-17. Everybody else is above 500. So, you know, it's
I like to see that.
Very interesting.
That's a team I would like to see do good.
Colorado?
It's because of the fact that, you know, the way they are, I think that would do good for that market. I just like to see Colorado do well.
I just think that's going to be just a fun division just to watch in general. I mean, anytime you got a whole division right now at the start of the league, you know, pretty much a month and a couple of weeks in, I'm sorry. And all 5 teams are you know, playing competitive damn baseball.
Right.
Obviously, it's not going to continue that way, but hell.
You know, another team I always been a fan of, and I think because where I lived at, the Cubs.
I can't never root for the Cubs.
I know why you can't, but I'm just saying for me, because, you know, in Michigan we get a lot of Chicago TV, and I see a lot of Cubs. I mean, I see a lot of White Sox and Cubs. I always hated the White Sox. I don't know why. I just did. But I always like watching the Cubs. I would watch the Cubs game all the time.
I hate both Chicago teams.
I would watch them. You know, when the Yankees and the Tigers weren't playing, I would watch the Cubs.
I can never, obviously, because the White Sox are my second pitcher.
I agree with that too. Well, I understand why, because you're a KC fan. I understand.
And then the Cubs are their whole fan base is made up of just yuppie nose scrapers of fucking prissy bastards in the north side of Chicago that root for that team. And I am okay on the Cubs. Yeah, that's my reason for that. But
I understand. I'm usually with the. I agree with you on that, Matt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of Fernando Tatis and Machado and all them. And they still got Hosmer, so former Royal. So I would love to see the Padres. I wish they would go back to their older uniforms, just brown uniforms. They look like UPS. So it's kind of.
You don't like the brown uniforms? It reminds me of the old Cubs, though. Not Cubs. I mean the old
Padres.
Old Padres. So I like it. It reminds me of that. He's like, oh yeah, old school baseball. Forgot what the Doodoo Browns.
No, not the Doodoo Browns. They should go to the red, the navy blue and orange when Tony Gwynn was playing. They should go back to that.
Oh, okay. I like that too.
They should go back to that.
I like that too. It's like, since we talking about uniforms, we get ready. You only got 3 minutes left. The Yankees and the Tigers, right? Their uniforms.
Classics.
It's classic. It's not too much you can do to them.
What are you saying? Do to them?
It's like, why would you change? Well, when they change them, I think people will get mad if you change those. Especially Yankees.
I'll say, yeah, you can't take the.
Well, even the gray, that gray and blue. I mean, I think it's like.
Oh, wait here. Just how you can do a slight subtle change.
Now the Tigers is a little different because you can do the orange.
Yeah, the orange and the navy blue.
Yeah. But Yankees.
But here's an idea.
Mm-hmm.
On the road, maybe do like the Yankee blue with like the gray pinstripes or the white pinstripes.
Oh, okay.
Or do the gray and do the Yankee blue pinstripe. So there's like subtle ways you can play with it.
I think people get mad.
Oh yeah,
I don't think you.
Fit.
Yeah.
Oh, trust. They get mad when you see the players' last names on the jersey. They're like, "That's not authentic."
That's not authentic.
See, look at
Matt, no.
You want some of this too, man?
No.
Oh, but no, good show today. That's
right.
Approaching the finish line for sure. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in, stopping in, keeping up with us over here at I.O.W.
Right.
He said home pinstripes, away grays. That's it. See, ain't willing to budge. See, like a true Yankee fan. Look at him. But no, appreciate all the love and support. Always, like we said, going over to the Facebook page, I.O.W. Sports Network, going over to the Twitter, I.O.W. Sports 1, going over to the Instagram, I.O.W. Sports Network, and most importantly, the YouTube, I.O.W. Sports Network, where all our content is stored. And y'all come back now. You're here on Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 153. On behalf of the homie Big Nick Shine, we had to get his nipples pierced, taken care of today.
Nipple piercing.
Yeah.
Nipple piercing Shine.
The big homie Detroit, man. I am the Wild Card Mar.
All right, Matt.
Next time, it's been real.
Peace.
Check.